Hey, it's your boy Dreg. Kamusta? I hope you guys are enjoying your Christmas breaks, and if you click on this video, then you're definitely eager to learn from the least understandable YouTuber in terms of explaining, and I really appreciate that, bruh. So in this video, I will be teaching you every knowledge I have in terms of aiming. From compatibility to settings, to placement, to aiming, to movement while aiming, to my training, and of course, how I warm up. And to add something special, I'll be teaching you when and how to challenge gunfights. Because I'm not only teaching you how to aim, I'm also teaching you how to be a better player along the progression. Also, how to survive unavoidable situations. From SMGs to shotguns, from ARs to LMGs, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of sniping along the way. So yeah, I'd appreciate if you boys give this video another 1000 likes, and for the new ones, I'd be really thankful, bruv, if you subscribe along the way. Now you may have been wondering, Dregzmn, what the fuck? Device is a huge aspect, man. Even though frames is a huge part in terms of emotional protection, some of you all just keeps on changing phones or swapping gaming devices like from phone to tablet. Every device has its own weight and length. For example, you can't expect to use mama's phone and expect the same results in terms of muscle memory and sensitivity. Every device differs. It's big or it's small. So that's why I don't really recommend using sensitivities from other people, because the sensitivity will either be too slow or too fast. Me personally, I use an ROG 5. No, this video is not sponsored by ROG, but I am using this for 3 years, man. And I've never used another mobile device for gaming. Also, to keep the muscle memory attached. So it only takes approximately 5 minutes for me to warm up. If you play with gyro, then I really recommend you put the weight below. Weight comes from the camera, the phone batteries, even the power button. Play on that consistently, then you'll have a better gyro control. Not to mention, you won't even need to twist the phone much. Now for the basic settings, nothing will help your aim but aim assist and sync ADS FOB. Now in terms of sync ADS, it's all about perception. Using it or not, both has its cons. While not using sync ADS, you will have better visibility with ADS, because there's the zoom with the cause of moderate recoil, which is actually very manageable. Now if you decide to use sync ADS, you will have a larger FOB while using ADS, while having less recoil than not using sync ADS. The only reason sync feels like it has less recoil is because while using ADS, it has zero zoom, meaning you can't feel the recoil because your thing is small. But at the cost of visibility, everything will look smaller because there's no zoom. That means you will shoot in a hip-fire-like perspective. So in terms of sensitivity, if you want to try playing with sync on, I personally just added 10 to each sensitivity. But in terms of using sync or not, me personally, I could perform better up close without sync, and my accuracy doesn't really make any difference at range whenever it's on or not. So it will be up to you. You gotta pick your own poison in this one, bruh. Now in terms of sensitividad, there will be no such thing as best sensitivity or no recoil sensitivity. If you're using a small phone, then I recommend using a high sense, while if you're using a bigger one, I recommend using it low. And if you're trying gyro, I recommend to start low then go higher each day, bruh. In my personal opinion, if your aim keeps going past the enemy, then it's too high. When it won't reach the enemy, then it's too low. But at the end of the day, you need to stick to what you think is best for you, because the best sensitivity will always be the one you master. You can tell you've mastered your sense when you can flick unintentionally, or when you trace, you don't over or underextend wildly. To master a sensitivity, you must devote yourself on using it. Trying different sensitivities often may feel good sometimes, but this will ruin your muscle memory alongside your patience. So no, stick with what you're comfortable with and commit. Now at first we got crosshair placement. Now this is the most common problem I see with random teammates or small tubers. Crosshair placement is basically anticipation, and with anticipation comes awareness. Putting your crosshair too low or too high and relying on just flicks would not work even if you're the god of flicks. I actually put a custom crosshair for you guys to see it better. I always put my crosshair on a potential spot of an enemy regardless if it's close or far. This will give you the advantage in every gunfight you'll possibly meet. Even if I do a random 360 or weapon inspect while sprinting, those things are just for the vibe. My main focus will be my crosshair, anticipating in every action I take. Now I want you to take a look at this clip and see how crosshair placement saved my ass. Now I saw this guy too late and he was clearly sprinting. Most common reaction I'll see from you guys is just to fire back at doorway, but nah, I clearly knew he was going to slide. I set my crosshair at the right side, anticipating the slide and giving enough dodge to do this. If I just shot on doorway and relied on tracing, then I'm dead. He was using the Fennec. So these are the small things proper crosshair placement can do. It may not look much, but every pro players do this, bruh. And this will not only help your aim adjustment, but also make you a much better player in game. Okay, so to make this simpler, crosshair placement is basically one of the basic foundations of aiming. Crosshair placement is basically attentiveness to the surroundings regardless if you're familiar or not with the map. Crosshair placement is all about visualizing and anticipating potential gunfights. So this will not just help your aim overall, it will also improve your gameplay by a lot. Now that we're done with crosshair placement, we move on to its big brother, pre-aiming. A lot of you are confused with this one. Crosshair placement is for anticipation and pre-aiming is for the preparation side. I pre-aim a lot when peeking and when I'm rushing, as you guys can see in my videos. This is basically preparation of engagement. This will help you avoid getting backstabbed or outgunned by campers. It serves the same purpose as pre-aiming, but this time while engaging unexpected or expected gunfights. Now at this situation, I heard gunshots at kitchen, so now that I'm certain of enemies, watch how I use pre-aiming. I pre-aim not knowing there's three. Now at this point you may chow everyone, but I heard them shooting, meaning they're aiming but not at me. So I was confident enough to evade after the kill. Now shot the middle first because my crosshair was placed on him, then immediately strafe away to avoid getting hit, then destroyed the guy that pushed. Now I was aware of another guy, so I basically just free-fired with a flick. Okay, now I pause because I have no idea. My man went for a spin, bruh. Jesus Christ, you're dog shit. Okay, pardon me. Now, don't you just wake up and aim like this? From the Fennec to the QK9 to the CX9 and to the every gun has a unique recoil pattern. Now, in order to be better, you need time and you need practice. Take time to familiarize yourself with the recoil of the gun so that you can get used to it. Believe me, COD is one of the most non-recoil existent guns in gaming. So if you're struggling in this one, then you need a lot of time. Also, don't pressure yourself along the way. No one becomes the best overnight. Improvement happens overnight. Also, don't overdo it, man. Keep it simple. Keep it nice. Practice non-moving objects. And please lessen the movement that you think is nice. Remember, being dogshit is a stage in life. No one was born good enough to compete. Before you can aim like this, we all started like this. Now for tracing and flicking, this is the fancy part. First of all, with tracing, try to find an object that's moving in a predictable pattern, then proceed to trace that without shooting. This 100% works to improve your tracing. The more your thumbs get tired, the more you're doing it right. Now for flicking, try to flick on non-moving objects. On my personal method, I try to combine flicking and tracing because I'm in a state where I just try to warm up. Just do it slow. Flicking requires patience and mastery of the sense. Don't do it fast because before you can do this, try and master this first. Again, improvement doesn't come overnight. It comes with patience, so take your time if you want to improve. Try to take it one step at a time and please do it right. Now let's talk about gun compatibility. Every gun has a unique aspect. Some are simply meant for close range, some are for beaming, some are for the middle variant that excels in both sides in an effective way. Take for example the Fennec. The pros don't use the Fennec to beam people from a tower, although some people like me may beam at that range, but you will definitely be outgunned by actual guns that's meant for range. Guns like the GRAU, the LK24, and the Holger. Now, for each player comes with different preferences. Find the gun that suits you most in order to be an efficient gunner. For example, if you like moving around a lot or playing aggressive, try the CX9 and the Fennec. If you love holding angles, playing for picks or going for nukes, try the LK24 or the Grau. Or if you're in the middle of both, trying to be flexible, try guns like the PDW or the DRH. Not only you need to aim right, you also need to use the gun right. Now, the most common mistake I see with movement while aiming is people prioritize the movement. Not gonna lie, it is addicting and satisfying, but movement won't bring you nowhere if you can't aim. So when it comes to movement, don't overcomplicate movement. Keep it simple, keep it precise, and for God's sake, fix your crosshair, bruh. This video is a name video, so I won't teach how to perform the movement, but I will make sure to leave the link on my latest movement video so that you guys can check it out. First is slide cancelling. It helps you pre-aim better, slide longer with the advantage of having to ADS faster. It is not meant for flash, it is meant for peeking, so doing this without peeking or anticipation is just not the way. Aiming while jumping is probably the easiest to perform. In order to master this, have less effort with your recoil control and more on the pointing part. You will jump so your aim will be bound to hit the head of your enemies. Don't overcomplicate the aim with this. Let the momentum flow. Now for strafing. Strafing is when you move your joystick left or right, or both to be a harder target while shooting. Could also be used to adjust aim placement. But there are two kinds of strafing for me: fast strafing and slow strafing. Fast strafing guns are most commonly SMGs and some ARs. So for fast strafing guns, in order for it to not ruin my aim, for close range, I go left and right, just so I look like crazy on the enemy. And for range, I do recommend the same but with pace, meaning go left for like a segundo and go right for another second. Because the faster you strafe, the more you look like steady at range. Also, it is most applicable to beginners so that it won't hurt our aim. Now for slow strafing guns, going just left or right will actually be useless unless you're sitting on a head glitch. So for this one, I personally go left and right while aiming. Why? Because even though you move slow in the enemy POV, you're still going left and right. Kinda same on how the GARENA zigzag works, there's this delay. Now for sliding while aiming, the most important part here is the crosshair placement. I see a lot of players that their crosshair goes nuts after a slide. Now you may see me put my crosshairs off sometimes while zigzagging. It is because I can confidently put the crosshair at my enemy the moment I know where he is. So don't do it yet, do it slow and precise, because precision is the most important part of a shooter game. Same logic with snipers, regardless of what you're trying to master, do it slow and precise. No need to hurt yourself looking fancy. Do it simple, do it spick and span. You will get to the point that you can automatically snap on the enemy at will. So yes, just keep practicing and practicing, and always remember to do it right, bruh. Jesus Christ. For my routine, first thing I do is remove aim assist. So after I turn it on, I basically just straight up aimbot everyone. After that, I hop on to single new player map and play on Nuketown because it's the smallest map available. So basically what I do is just practice against bots, simply put the difficulty on the hardest level possible, then just add them up. To be honest, I actually missed this one. I haven't warmed up for like weeks, maybe months, because of the lack of time. But here, basically, this is the routine I do for SMGs and shotguns. Just straight up beam bots and warm up my movement. So for SMGs, I try to ego every bot possible. By the way, this is without audio, so I just basically rely on my senses. So what I do is, basically I do this till the game ends. I do this for like 4 times to actually heat up. Now for shotgunning, since I can actually place crosshairs without problems, I just focus on continuous movement, meaning movement without stopping. No hitting walls. I actually just mesmerize myself. I use everything, man. Wall sliding, wall hugging, wall dicking, as long as the walls can't stop me anymore, bruh. For ARs and snipers, I play on CROSSHAIR because it's the map that's big and long, and I can really easily predict spawns. Here with ARs, I simply focus on aiming like beaming, tracing, flicking, all that compound shit. I just focus on that till I don't feel the gun, I just feel the beam cells, and also when I'm accurate enough to, you know, beam without thinking, just instinct. Now for sniping, I just focus on long shots, but when the enemy's close, I focus on movement. Slight movement. When I can't hit my shots, I just focus on centering. And yeah, quick scope everything. I usually do this until I hit 20 shots in a row, something like that. So yeah, this thing kinda takes a while. So that will be it for today's video. Just always remember, take it slow, find a pace, and do things right, man. Never rush things like this. It will only make things worse for you. I may not be the best in terms of beaming with ARs, but I guarantee I'm one of the best when it comes to SMGs. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys learned something, man. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.